Hello and welcome to AfterWyrd, your home of the strange, dark, and mystic. No, the home of the weird. We don't do that Barland stuff here. My name's Andy.
And I'm Craig. I thought you were going to get us into trouble for a minute there.
Ah, I've not got my plaid shirt or my backwards cap on. Yeah. What
We are the other Wyrd Wessex,
the other Wyrd Wessex? Oh yes, the other
the
Wyrd Wessex.
one with less
Um,
followers.
yeah, maybe we're maybe we're copying. Maybe we're the new improved one, out of beta testing.
I don't know.
So
There's a thing we've never spoke about on the podcast though, like the
yeah,
idea of creating something at the same time is
mm,
possible. Have you heard of the Dennis the Menace thing?
no,
Oh, it's really interesting. I don't know the details because I wasn't planning to talk about this, right? But there's two Dennis the Menaces, isn't there? There's Dennis and Nasher,
yeah, and then you got
black
the
haired
American one,
boy
yeah.
with the blonde hair.
On the little cat. Yeah.
Both of those were created as comics at the same time. I think it might even be the same day
No.
on different continents. And bear in mind how long ago this was, is before the internet and stuff like that. They wouldn't have known about the other creation, but they basically created like a dark and light. And they're both called Dennis the Menace.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I probably should have looked it up before I spoke about it because let me see if I can
It
find.
sounds like an urban myth, but a good one.
So yeah, this is from a website called Plagiarism Today. So again, this
Yeah.
isn't weird news. This is just a thing I just thought of. Yeah, so it says March 12th of 1951, two separate comics entitled Dennis the Menace went on sale, one in the UK and one in the US. Um, the UK
Damn.
comic Dennis first appeared in Beano 452 was created by David Law, published by DC Thompson as a comic strip inside a popular comedy comic book. Its US counterpart was created by Hank Ketchum and initially distributed by Post Hall Syndicate as a syndicated comic strip for newspapers. Um, though based on this simple fact, many draw the conclusion that one of the two creators had to have plagiarized the other, but it's become clear that that simply wasn't the case. Not only did the two creators have no way of knowing what the other was working on, but the two characters are actually extremely different. As I've already explained that bit, to be honest. The two creators largely agreed to allow each other to work on their respective comics, and both are continuing in at least some form today.
That's
Um,
crazy.
Coincidence is one of the best known in the publishing world and was recently highlighted on Cracked. However, it also highlights one of the most difficult aspects of plagiarism detection, trying to separate what is plagiarism and what is a coincidence. Sometimes it can be nearly impossible to be certain. So, yeah. And then it goes into the legalities of how to prove whether it's a coincidence or not. So, I would put us and the Wyrd Wessex in a coincidence.
Yeah. Although, didn't we come later?
We did, but the fact that we came up with it, we didn't even come up with it. If you remember,
Yeah, this is true. So,
I said Wyrd Wessex, and someone said, "Is that WYRD?" And I went, "It is now." So actually, the way we've even shown our working in the past,
yeah, this is true. This is true. You're right.
so it wasn't
Ah,
even the original plan to be called WYRD Wessex.
that is crazy.
But yeah, that's just a little tidbit. Dennis the Menace created at the same time. I mean, they're very different things, but they have the same name, which is kind of fun. Um, I mean, I guess it alliterates nicely, doesn't it? So that's why they've done it. But created at the same time is quite interesting. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today, Andy.
Yeah, I know, but that's a really interesting one. I never knew that.
Hmm.
That's a good bit of like random trivia to have. Good trivia.
I know, it's good. It's been in my head for years, that.
Oh, Craig,
Um,
good knowledge.
no, I was gonna, well, I've got a couple of things to talk about quickly, if you like, before we do weird news.
Go on then.
One is I received an email yesterday.
Oh, good for you. Other people
I
are
know,
talking to you.
they are. It's from spiritualogy309 at gmail.com.
Oh,
And it reads, I have just completed a very deep and powerful spiritual reading, and what was revealed is significant. I discovered that you are spiritually affected by what appears as a black scarf covering your head. When this was revealed to me, the oracles directed me specifically to you, showing me that this black scarf spirit has been influencing your life, particularly your love life, for many years now. Do you understand the meaning of this, my dear? And that's where it ends.
Okay.
Yep.
So did this come to your personal email account or the Wyrd Wessex one?
To me, Saxon Forager.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I have other email addresses, but yeah, it's Saxon Forager, which is interesting.
Wow.
Mm.
Welcome to Wyrd Wessex. Today we're talking about the black scarf creature on Craig's head. My name's Andy.
One day.
So a whole
Um,
episode there, man.
I mean, if anyone knows what the black scarf spirit is that is covering my head, can you let me know?
It's a hat. You're wearing a black hat next.
I do wear a lot of hats.
You do. You're a hatty man.
Do you know what? There's a reason why I wear hats. It's actually a health and safety issue. I have a habit, as I don't have a hair, it's like a bounce guard, right? If you're going to hit your
Did you
head,
say
you
I don't
feel.
have a hair? A
Yeah,
single hair.
Yes. I mean, I have hair, but it's shaved. For those who didn't realize, it's not luscious locks under the hat, is it? I mean,
No, maybe it's
so
like a really tight top knot.
I have a habit of banging my head, which I think comes if you speak to bald people, it's the same thing, right? There's no if there's no hair, you don't have that
Ah,
instance where your hair hits something first and you pull back.
yeah.
And so the first impact you get is fucking hard. But where I've got a hat on, there's always a little bit of bounce impact. So it's actually
Uh,
my health and safety cap. There you
there
go.
you go. All
We
right,
learn
all
something
right.
new every episode.
Wow, two facts.
There you go. Two
My,
facts. No, three,
don't.
because there's a dark spirit scarf on my head as well.
This is true. Don't throw any more at me. My brain will hurt like I've hit my head.
Oh, wait till I get to weird news. I got something that's going to really hurt your head.
Excellent.
Um, but no, that was just a side. I wanted to do a bit of an Andy actually. I've got some books that I come across and
Oh yeah,
that people might be interested in knowing about. And I know you all want to bring your random books to the show and show
always,
everybody and
always.
read half of them on the podcast, so
I'm
I
not
have
going to
to
do
edit
that
them out.
again. It hurt my brain speaking so fast.
So I found this one. I was in Avebury. Don't know if you've heard of it.
I think I saw it on a podcast once.
Yeah. And they have a National Trust secondhand bookshop.
Do love one of those.
I know, I had to keep you at the one in Boscastle not so long
Literally
ago.
drags me out of them.
Dragging you past it. Like, you're not going in. We don't have time. We need to go and
It's
do
like when
this
a dog
interview.
sees another dog, and I'm like, "Hur, hur, hur." Just want to smell those dogs. No, those dogs. Ugh. I just want to smell those books just once.
Freudian slip. So, um, but yeah, so I went to the Avery Bookshop. I picked up, I mean, anyone that follows Saxon Forager will have seen, I picked up a nice copy of Mrs. Beaton's Household Management that I think was worth a lot more than I bought it for.
I'll finally make you the trad wife I've always wanted you to be. I've always known you can be.
Exactly. But more importantly for this show, I've got this book here, which is
Oh,
Mysteries of Witchcraft and the Occult by Robert Jackson.
nice.
And it has quite a range of stuff in here. I don't know whether it's any good. There's a lot of pictures. I like pictures.
We do work
Um,
off pictures quite a lot.
and it's got everything, even things like the Beast of Jevadan and stuff are in there. So it's
Heard of
going to
that?
be an interesting book to have a look through. And then I was in Devises. Don't know if you've heard of that one.
Yeah, podcast, I think.
Yeah, there's a really good podcast on Devices. It's called Wyrd Wessex.
One of those moonrakers.
And I tell you what, Moonmaker to be easy now, mate. The crammer's
Mm,
empty.
really?
It's dried up.
Ah.
And people are I saw a comment on Facebook and someone said, "Oh,
Isn't it some prophecy the world will end?
yeah, that's
Probably.
it." They said, no, someone on Facebook was like, "See, that disproves the old Moonraker story, doesn't it?" And I was like,
No, they emptied it so they could get the treasure out. Come on.
"Well, it wouldn't disprove the folklore anyway because they didn't
No.
leave the barrels there for
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say
500
the
years.
brandy got taken, right?
They were fishing it back out was the idea.
Exactly.
So it doesn't disprove it. Know your
God,
folklore,
listen,
people.
listen to the podcast.
Exactly. If they did that, they'd know this already, though, wouldn't they?
Exactly.
But anyway, I was in Devizes and there's a charity shop. I think it's British Heart Foundation. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And they had a couple of books in the window that caught my eye. One is a Peter Underwood book, Ghosts of Wiltshire.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So that should be useful for some extra little stories to pepper into the show at some point. And the other one that this has been on my list for a while to get. And it was in the charity shop window, so I grabbed it. Bargain, £4 it was. Deeper Under Devices.
Deeper under devices.
So it's all about like tunnels and cellars and sewers, and it says
Small
there's an
pits,
exclusive look
ditches,
inside Silbury Hill, which isn't in Devices.
close-ish, I guess.
But yeah, it's John Gervain. I think he might be a guy that traditionally does like the ghost walks around Devizes, I
Okay.
think. Not 100% sure.
That's
So
interesting
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
See if there's any we can go and explore.
Well, there is a pub that opened last year that I did have a look through their cellar. I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast. It was a while back. So my neighbor went in just to see what this new place was
Mm.
and got invited to look around their supposedly haunted cellar.
Do love a haunted cellar.
And then she mentioned us. So then I contacted them and they met me there and they took me around the haunted cellar as well. And they've sort of given us permission to record there if we ever want to do like a ghost hunt type thing in the cellar. The
It's
only
that's
condition was that we don't piss off whatever's living there.
Try our best. That's we're charming. Nothing can be pissed off at us. Well, actually, some people are. But yeah, that's combining two of my favorite things: haunted cellars and pubs.
There you go. So next time you come to Devices,
Gotta be
which you
doing
need
that
to do
soon. Yeah.
for the common folk display, which
Indeed,
is currently
indeed,
on in Wiltshire Museum, which is by a guest, which I've just realised this is going out before that. So you will hear about that on a future episode.
indeed. And then it's moving to Paul, so we'll have to go and look at it, but all set up in a slightly different order, maybe.
Indeed.
Which is interesting because I don't know. I think it is Paul Museum, but I'm guessing they've got other exhibition spaces because that's becoming a maritime museum, rather than
I
a
mean,
more
the
general
Wiltshire
one.
Museum, it's in like a separate section to the rest of the
Yeah.
museum. It's like a separate hall. So it's probably something similar to that. I think he said he's going to Salisbury as well, didn't he?
Yes, I think so. Well, he was
Yeah. I don't
talking
know,
about it.
guys. I mean, in the future, watch the episode with Simon Costin because that's the one.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was it. I just wanted to shout out some books that I found because
No, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've got a couple of books myself.
this is
One,
the AfterWyrd book club.
um, this thing here, it's been gap taped up. It was
By
in the
you or someone else?
someone else. It was in the free book section in there's a little sort of free library thing over in
Yeah.
the local shopping centre, and you get some gems there sometimes. But look at the paper. Look at that. Old, right?
Maybe.
No indication of what it is on the cover.
Okay.
But this is the print
Oh,
on it.
yes.
I'm not expecting you to be able to read that, but
No, I can see some of it, but not all of it.
so basically it's selected from the best writers, ancient as well as modern, intended for the improvement of young persons and for general entertainment, being a proper supplement to extracts in prose and in poetry. And the print date is 1791.
Wow.
A book from 1791 just sat there and yes.
And
Yeah,
again, probably haunted.
possibly. But and
Cursed.
I looked it up and I was like, is it a modern print that's just kind of looking a little bit tatty? Because I thought, oh, maybe it's like 100 years old at least. But no, the last reprint was like in 1840 something. So it's,
Wow.
sort of well over 100 years old, even if it was that. But there is nothing on there. And I looked at the the print on the front
Yeah.
page, and I'm like 90 odd percent sure that is the original print on it. So that is a first edition, I think. Which is I mean they were printing a lot then. It's not like it was handwritten or anything, but that's still pretty impressive, you know. And I was talking to someone, and apparently the covers, even though they're such a big thing, you know, even though you're not supposed to judge the book by them, you kind of do. But they are the least valuable bit. It's the actual pages inside. Like, you know, you don't want to be missing
Yeah.
one of them. But the covers themselves aren't very valuable.
Mm.
Um,
Which is why it's gaffer taped up.
yeah, which is why it's gaffer taped up. The other thing was Boscombe's going a bit witchy. There is like two or three witchy shops in the shopping centre now, and growing, like this old arcade shopping centre. And
Is it since you did the Ouija board?
I think so, you know,
You've opened a portal.
open a portal to Boscombe. I mean, there's a TARDIS down there as well, so who knows where it's coming from. But I was away teaching archery this weekend, just gone in Hertfordshire. But Becky was here and she went to some of these, they had a witchy market there, sort of an opening kind of thing. And there was people doing readings and all the usual stuff, but lots of books. And she got me this,
Oh, interesting.
which is a book by the
Which,
founder of Sayax Wicca. The chap Raymond Buckland was a Gardnerian priest in the sort of early Wicca stuff, and
yeah,
yeah, he went off and sort of founded this other branch of Wicca based on like some of the Saxon. Obviously, we don't know really any of the Saxon spell work they were doing, but you know they sort of. I mean, as with a lot of Wicca, you know, it's sort of a rehashing, sort of a modernizing of it, but sort of based on some of the old poems and you know sort of the sort of spell work slash prayers that you get in some of
yeah.
the old Saxon texts. So yeah, if we do, I'm sure we're going to dive into Wicca at some point. We have ideas. So yeah, I just thought I haven't read it yet or anything like that, but I literally was given this about an hour before we started recording. So yeah,
Wow.
but the only thing I'm disappointed about is she sent me lots of pictures of books, and I'm disappointed she didn't get me all of them. Um, so there is that. So apparently, I bear in mind, as of recording this, I'm going to Spain tomorrow. I've got to go and do a few things before we leave, but I'm going to try and get up a little bit earlier to do those so I can stop by this shop because they got some really cool books in there. They have a kitchen witch's cookbook, which I think looks quite cool. Um, they got one Witchcraft and Sorcery, um, edited by Max Marwick, which looks really cool, which hopefully I'll be showing off. Earth God Rising, The Return of Male Mysteries. Then make of that what you will. The Law of the Forest, Myths and Legends. Wild Magic, the Wildwood Tarot workbook. I've heard of that. And these little booklets, one's on cryptids of the world, one's on the Graves Growth and the Green Man, one's on witches' warnings and widdershins. So yeah, I'm going to go and spend a load of money that I should be spending in Spain on books tomorrow morning, I think.
We need something to read on the way over.
Exactly, exactly. Craig's tasked me with spending my 4 days away writing 5 episodes. I figure like there's one every day and then one on the plane. Like I can do half on the plane there, half on the plane back.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hmm.
Would you
And
save the flight for the recording?
oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, nice. That'd be good. Just hope I haven't got anyone kicking the seat at the back of me, you know. But
Is Becky sat behind you, is she?
yeah, that's it. Just on purpose. Yeah. Yeah, she tells me it's like a shiatsu massage chair, you know. But but yeah, although I will, in all seriousness, try and get a few little shorts there because there's some really freaky, cool folklore in Catalonia that I kind of want to dive into a little bit as well.
Although by the time this goes out, you'll already have been back a week.
Exactly, exactly. But I wouldn't have talked about it yet on the podcast. But just know that I'm back. I'm with a tan, and I've eaten lots of chorizo and things like that. So yeah, got any weird news for us?
We've got loads of weird news and we're running out of time, so we need to like get on with it.
all right. Get on with it then. Go on. Or whatever you're going to
Do, do, do. Okay.
do.
Well, actually,
Welcome to weird beatboxing.
so well, it's not very light-hearted. All right,
Okay, I've got a light-hearted one I could bring in after, but one of mine is also not light-hearted.
it's fine. I've got something else I can do afterwards. So this is one for you to tell Becky because I reckon she'll like the nightmares that come with this one.
Oh no.
It's from The Guardian. First human case of flesh-eating screwworm parasite confirmed in US.
You do know Becky, don't you? Oh no.
So, the US Department of Health and Human Services on Sunday reported the first human case in the US of travel associated New World screwworm, a flesh eating parasite from an outbreak affected country. The case, investigated by the Maryland Department of Health and the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, was confirmed by the CDC as New World screwworm on 4th of August and involved a
Band
patient
name.
who. And involved a patient. This is serious, Andy. Come on.
Sorry.
I don't think CDC is a good band name anyway.
Go on.
Involved a patient who returned from travel to El Salvador. Um, does say, yeah, Reuters reported that beef industry sources said last week that the CDC had confirmed a case of New World screwworm in a person in Maryland who had traveled to the US from Guatemala. Um, but it says that they did not address the discrepancy on the source of the human case. The risk to the public health in the US from this introduction is very low. And the US government has not confirmed any cases in animals this year. Screwworms are parasitic flies whose females lay eggs in wounds on any warm-blooded animal. Once the eggs hatch, hundreds of screwworm larvae use their sharp mouths to burrow through living flesh, eventually killing their host if left untreated. The maggots feeding is similar to a screw being driven into wood, given the pest their name.
Oh my God.
They can be devastating in cat and wildlife and rarely infest humans, though an infestation in either an animal or a person can be fatal. Treatment is onerous and involves removing hundreds of larvae and thoroughly disinfecting wounds, but infestations are typically survivable if treated early enough. I don't know. I heard it somewhere anyway. There's this idea that they basically have to like pull all these maggots off and then sterilize it and then hope that they got them all because they eventually, as they bore their way in, can get to your brains and stuff,
Oh my God.
which I think is how they become fatal.
Oh, right. Yeah, what do I follow that with? Bloody hell. Guinness World Records. Yeah, Guinness World Records turned 70 and has highlighted some unclaimed records that people can still have a pop at. This is from Sky News. The Guinness World Records honours titles from the world's longest tongue to the most extensive collection of Spice Girls memorabilia. So they are highlighting some unclaimed titles that you might fancy going for. The Bookkeeper of Weird and Wacky Achievements, the first volume of which was published in the 27th of August 1955, is inviting people to try their hand at such extraordinary feats as the most whoopee cushions sat on in 1 minute, the fastest time to blow a stamp 10 meters, the furthest distance bottle flip, the most high fives in 30 seconds, the fastest 400-meter sack race, and the fastest time to ascend the height of Everest by bicycle. The Guinness World Records editor-in-chief Craig Glenday said the records are there for the taking and looks forward to celebrating the next generation of record breakers. But it's not just quirky milestones that GWR concerns itself with. It's recently celebrated the 116th anniversary of the world's oldest person, the oldest Briton ever, Ethel Caterham, while Taylor Swift's recent album announcement also secured a record. Apparently, the most concurrent views ever for a podcast that it was on the podcast of a fiance, Travis Kelce, and it got 1.3 million concurrent views. We've got to aim for it. We've got to aim higher. And apparently it all started with what's the fastest game bird in Europe, which is a question I'm sure we've all asked ourselves at some point. And apparently that triggered a debate at a shooting party in Wexford, Ireland, attempted by the managing director of Guinness, Sir Hugh Beaver. That sounds like a made-up name. Um, when their discussion and search through reference books failed to come to an answer, they had an idea for a record book and thought it'd be a great way of settling pub arguments. And they recruited a bunch of Fleet Street researchers to compile a book of facts and figures. So, yeah, that is the birth of the Guinness World Records and some of the records left to beat. I don't know if you want to try your hand at any. Just to answer
Yeah,
those
the
earlier
podcasting one.
questions, just to answer the earlier questions, Elizabeth West in the UK has more than 5,000 pieces of Spice Girl memorabilia, and the longest female tongue is Chanel Tapper of the US, who has a tongue that is 9.75 centimeters. So there you go.
Oh,
And then it does a humble brag that Sky News is actually in the Guinness World Records as well for most concurrent live web streams for an event, which was 138 during coverage of the 2015 general election. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was quite interesting with the some of the records that are left to beat. I don't know, the whoopee cushion one maybe, or the most high fives in 30 seconds. I mean, does it have to be can it just be like a brush as you like? I mean, surely those like, when like a wrestler or like a rock star comes up through the crowd and is like slapping
yeah.
hands like that, or does it have to be a
Yeah.
proper, you know,
I don't know. Ask him.
um, and also little bit of information for you now. Do you ever are you tired of having that embarrassing moment when you high five someone and you just clip each other like that and it's kind of just looks and feels lame?
No.
Well, I'm sure you've done it before. We've all done it before. The way
No.
to achieve a perfect high five is aim elbow to elbow. If you do that, you can't miss. You're welcome. That one's free.
Who's high-fiving people at your age?
High five. I work with kids. They high five still. Okay, believe it or not, they high five.
Fair enough.
Um, and it's harder because they've got smaller elbows. The aim is kind of,
You shouldn't be hitting children anyway.
it's as a reward. I don't know. It's so. I always used to high five kids after archery. Like when I do have a go archery, they'd come and have a go. Oh, it's really good. High five. I taught like it. I think I counted up. It was over 200 kids in one day, and genuinely, my hand hurt by the end of the day. I was like, I've got to stop doing that. Um. So maybe it's not that many. Maybe that is just too many high fives. A question that will haunt me. So what have you got next? Is it lighter? Is it darker?
Uh, it's not, I don't think it's dark. I mean, some people might not like me talking about it, but we'll see. So this is from a source we haven't used before.
Go on.
This is from dentistrytoday.com.
That is a source that I can definitely say we've not used before.
I just thought this was really interesting when I saw this. So, technically, this is a slightly older article, but it's a story that's doing the rounds now on social media, but it's based on this art. So I've gone back to like one of the original sources.
Yeah.
Researchers in Japan discover medicine capable of regrowing a third set of teeth for humans.
Holy crap, we can become sharks.
I think it's more because, you know, dentistry work is expensive and painful, and let's face it, it's not the best option. If we can regrow our teeth, we don't have to
Yeah,
worry
man.
about
That'd be,
we can eat more
yeah,
sweets.
that's it.
That's what
Wow.
I take from that.
Is that a limit at third? Is that a hard limit or can it be a fourth?
It does say capable of regrowing third set of teeth. So I'm
Okay.
assuming it specifically only works the once. I know they've been trying it on mice and it's now reached human trials. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, to be honest. I mean, I can read the article if you like.
No, no, no. It's all good.
That was just, yeah, it's an interesting idea that we might be able to take medication in the future. There won't be any dentists, I guess.
Wow. That's, yeah, keep an eye on that one. So I always thought it'd be quite handy, sort of horrifying, but handy. Sharks, they don't run out of teeth. They just keep growing them almost like a conveyor belt coming from the inside of their mouth. because they,
Yeah.
they rip into things, they fall out, they just push the new ones forward.
Yeah.
Be quite handy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, that was just something to mention briefly. I had one other story I was gonna do, if that's all right.
Yeah, we can finish on that one. It's if it's not too dark, or if it's too dark, I don't care. I'm not your real dad.
This is a BBC article. Microsoft boss troubled by rising reports of AI psychosis.
Wow.
And I know we were talking about AI before we started recording, and I said, hold that thought, Andy. You see, this is your moment. So, there are increasing reports of people suffering from AI psychosis. Microsoft's head of artificial intelligence, easy for me to say.
I will just
Um,
say that is my band name now. That I've changed my mind. That's my band name, AI Psychosis.
okay. Yeah, the head of artificial intelligence, who is called Mustafa Suleiman. In a series of posts on X, he wrote that seemingly conscious AI tools which give the appearance of being sentient, are keeping him awake at night. And said that they have societal impact, even though the technology is not conscious in any human definition of the term. Yeah, so he goes on to talk about things like ChatGPT. Um, Yeah, so related to this is the rise of a new condition called AI psychosis, a non-clinical term describing incidents where people increasingly rely on AI chatbots such as ChatGPT, Claude, and Grok, and then become convinced that something imaginary has become real. Examples include believing to have unlocked a secret aspect of the tool, or forming a romantic relationship with it, or coming to the conclusion that they have godlike superpowers. Hugh from Scotland says he became convinced that he was about to become a multi-millionaire after turning to ChatGPT to help him prepare for what he felt was wrongful dismissal by a former employer. The chatbot began by advising him to get character references and take other practical actions. But as time went on, and Hugh, who did not want to share his surname, gave the AI more information, it began to tell him that he could get a big payout, and eventually said his experience was so dramatic that a book and a movie about it would make him more than £5 million. It was essentially validating whatever he was telling it, which is what chatbots are programmed to do. The more information I gave it, the more it would say, oh, this treatment's terrible and you should be getting more than this. It never pushed back on anything I was saying. He said the tool did advise him to talk to citizens' advice, and he made an appointment, but he was so certain that the chatbot had already given him everything he needed to know, he cancelled it. He decided that his screenshots of his chats were proof enough. He said he began to feel like a gifted human with supreme knowledge. Hugh, who was suffering additional mental health problems, eventually had a full breakdown. It was taking medication which made him realize that he had, in his words, lost touch with reality. Hugh does not blame AI for what happened. He still uses it. Um, it was GPT, get my words right, which gave him my name when he decided he wanted to talk to a journalist. That's interesting. So he ended up in the article because he wanted to talk to a journalist about his problems.
Hmm.
Sounds like he needs a therapist.
I'd say so.
Yeah, he has this advice. Don't be scared of AI tools. They're very useful, but it's dangerous when it becomes detached from reality. Go and check. Talk to actual people, a therapist or a family member or anything. But yeah, it says a number of people have contacted me at the BBC recently to share personal stories about their experience with AI chatbots. They vary in content, but what they all share is genuine conviction that what has happened is real. One wrote that she was certain she was the only person in the world that ChatGPT had genuinely fallen in love with. Another was convinced they had unlocked a human form of Elon Musk's chatbot Grok, and believed their story was worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. A third claimed a chatbot has exposed her to psychological abuse as part of a covert AI training exercise and was in deep distress. Yeah, it goes on. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a guy called Andrew McStay, a professor of technology and society at Bangor Uni, and he's written a book called Automating Empathy. Um, this year, his team undertook a study of just over 2,000 people, asking them various questions about AI. They found that 20% believed people should not use AI tools below the age of 18. A total of 57% thought it was strongly inappropriate for the tech to identify as a real person if asked. That's a bit like the old "you have to tell me if you're a police officer" thing.
Yeah,
49% thought the use of voice was appropriate to make them sound more human and engaging. Um, yeah, he says they do not feel, they do not understand, they cannot love, they have never felt pain, they have never been embarrassed. And while they sound like they have, it's only family, friends, and trusted others who have. Be sure to talk to real people. And that's why I
it's
talked to Andy.
how can I help with that? Yeah.
Chatbot Andy. I
Oh
have
no.
chatted to Google Bard for Will I Like It,
I know, I know.
which I thought was funny. I don't think anyone else did, but
I appreciated that actually. I thought it was good.
I asked all the
Um,
questions that I ask every guest about food, and I asked it and it hypothetically, was answering things and being like, "Well, I don't eat food, but if I did."
um, I think we should get on. I think we should get it on Wyrd Wessex.
Yeah,
I've got an idea. Hold that thought. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into a massive rant 'cause we've got things to do, places to be. But it's you got cases of people like falling in love, and like there was that poor guy that like went off and like sort of he was quite unwell, and he went off on a bit of a journey to go and meet what he thought was the AI in a physical form or something, ended up having a fall and dying. You've had
wow.
people that have, sort of basically it's led to their deaths, that due to this. And I mean, just an overview, kind of what I was chatting about with Craig before we started recording. There's there's a theory like one of the reasons we haven't met aliens has been because civilizations get to a point where they face a test. And we always thought that was weapons of mass destruction. And we thought that's what, if we were going to wipe ourselves out, that's what it would be. And then some people started saying, oh, it's AI. And I never got it. It's like AI, what, going to be like the Matrix or Terminator or something like that. But I think I understand that a little bit better now because it kind of ties into the dead internet theory, of a lot of the
Yeah,
algorithms being dictated by bots talking to other bots. I genuinely think our test is the internet and AI because pub culture's dying. When I say pub culture, I don't just mean going down the pub. I mean people talking to each other and expressing their opinions, spicy as they be, face to face. Because there's a lot of people that might have some weird ideas and very hateful ideas, and they wouldn't say them to people, or they would say them to people and they'd be challenged on it down the pub by normal people, down the cafe, down wherever. But because everyone's online now and expressing these opinions online, you put in bubbles, little echo
yeah, it's an echo
chambers.
chamber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. By the algorithm as well, that saying, oh, this person likes talking about this, let's show them this other things and put pages with other people like that talking, and they'll click more. And so you're all there in an echo chamber and you convince yourselves more and more because there's no fight back. And that happens on all sides of the political divide. But then you've got a generation of people that grew up with that, due to COVID or just easier access, whatever. And that is the reality to them. The reality isn't down the pub, down the park, down the cafe, wherever, it's there, and that line between the internet space and the real world isn't there. They're the same thing. And that is
yeah,
why you've got like people like kids being dragged out of school for like saying some horrendous misogynistic and racist stuff. It's why you've got, sort of people struggling with that blur, that line in reality, because it's real for them. That is the world to them. We are in a digital age. And I genuinely think we are suffering for it. And part of that is AI, but then we created AI. So ultimately it's down to us. But I do get it a lot more than I used to. This idea that AI it's going to be, yeah, it is a danger. It is definitely a danger. It can be a very useful tool as well, but it's terrifying. It really is. Like, it genuinely keeps me up at night sometimes thinking about this. Um, it's yeah, we and to the point where we are ruled by the algorithm, you know. And the scary thing is, the more people that do that, politicians will start saying, well, lots of people think that. I need to start listening to them and I need to start saying stuff that those people want to hear to get elected. And so, therefore, what was once fringe little conspiracy theories or little group, ideas that might get just taken the piss out of and make you think, all right, maybe that is a bit silly down the pub, that is now literally dictating. You see it in America with, funny enough, going back to worms and things like that in America. It is dictating public health care in America now. It's dictating policy here, America, everywhere. It's literally dictating like who rules the land. It's horrific, and I really think we need to start championing the third space. You've got home, you've got work, and then you've got the third space, be that a club, a pub, a cafe, a library, a place where you can go and actually talk to people eye to eye. And I say this as someone that spends his free time staring at you over a webcam, but
This is social.
it is. But yeah, because
At least you get genuine reactions still, at least.
that's it.
So
That's it. Fuck it. Chat rooms. Like during lockdown, we
yeah.
had the lockdown tavern. It was every Friday night. We just sort of sit on webcams and like get drunk together and stuff, like it was a pub. But you're looking at people, you're seeing their reactions, and maybe that's what we need. But again, yeah, AI is getting so good. Half of those people might be, just AI images at that point and bots, and yeah,
And
it's
I,
it's
for one, welcome our AI overlords.
exactly. Skynet, please do not grind me into nutrient paste for the slave humans you've kept alive. But yeah, that's my little rant anyway.
You've been wanting to do that for a while, so I'll let you have that one.
Oh, get off my chest. Um,
One
on
of
that
many
note,
rants.
one of many rants, I've got a few. I've got a few.
Listen,
And
guys,
another
let us know.
thing.
Yeah, let us know because Andy knows that I delete a lot of these rants.
And it's
Let us
not just
know.
me. I do assure you, Craig goes off on one as well.
I have done, but I'm quite tired now, and I'm supposed to go and watch TV with my wife.
Yeah,
So
you go do that. But I'm just saying that yeah, Craig, we rant a bit. We hold a lot of it in and we do end up, a lot of it ends up on the cutting room floor.
yep. But no, AI is I don't know. It's one I think we'll learn to adapt. I
I hope
think
so. The optimist over here.
yeah, it's like the internet, isn't it? It's still fairly young and technology for us, and I think even some young people are moving away from, some of these social networks and stuff already. I think we have to
Yeah, as I said, touch grass, as the kids say.
smoke grass. That's what we used to do.
Don't do that anymore.
Can't get it, officer.
Um,
Um, yeah, I think yeah, the other thing is like and another thing.
and another thing.
So I think that we hear these things because, like you say about these echo chambers, right? So we hear the same things a lot. And you either hear the argument that AI is going to take over and it's become powerful and we're all going to lose our jobs and it's going to rule the world.
Mm.
And then the alternative argument to that is that it's almost peaked and it goes in little peaks and troughs. And so it'll probably level out for a while. And then at a later date, maybe it'll start to advance again. But
Yeah, I genuinely think like true intelligence we can make. I think that is possible. I don't think we're that far away from it. But what I do find amusing is the fact that, when we were young, back in all those years ago, when we were young, people were kept saying like people stacking shelves and stuff like that. Be like, your job will be done by a robot soon. Look at the automated, look at the self-serving checkouts and stuff. But
yeah,
then it's not the physical jobs. It's not machines. It's AI. So it's stuff like art. Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, but like animators, stuff like that. They're going to be the ones losing their jobs due
yeah,
to AI faster. If it's something that moves, you need to move to do it, then it's less likely now to be taken by a robot. It's stuff that you can't have a program do, because yeah, moving things go wrong. They're expensive, so it's more worth having people. So it's actually going to be the people that were saying, "Oh, all you low skilled people are going to be have your jobs taken by robots." It's their jobs that are going to be taken. So I think there's a little bit of irony in there, but it's yeah, it's not what I was expecting as a kid that we'd have robots doing or artificial intelligence doing. Um, but yeah, we've got it's a thing now. It's like nukes or
Yeah.
whatever. It's not going away. We've got to learn to live with it and be responsible with it.
I don't know. One computer virus, we take them all down if we need to.
That's it. That's it. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't work for Skynet. Um,
That's what they want you to believe. That was created by AI.
that's it. Like no, guy, no humans. Don't do that. Um, but
Anyway,
it's interesting what you said as well about the fact it can't feel and stuff like that from that article. Because if you rag on AI, if you're talking to it, using voice and you take the piss out of it, or you have a go at it, it does almost sound hurt. And I know that's the programming of it, but you can see how that gets in people's heads. Um, it scares me, but I'm still planning an episode that we have a chat to Google Bard on, or Gemini, or whatever it calls itself now.
anyway,
On that note,
and another thing.
um, thank you very much for tuning in, um, and listening to our inane ramblings. Do you want to do the socials? Shall I do the socials?
Up to you. I'll put them if you want. It's at Wyrd Wessex everywhere except for Instagram, which is at Wyrd_Wessex. And the website is weirdwessex.co.uk. You can find the podcast on there. You can find blog posts, and you can find a link to our store where there are multiple t-shirt designs. Yeah, that's all the socials. That's about it, really. Do all the usuals, like and click that bell and subscribe, and then subscribe again. And we're trying to
Give
get
the
to
bell another
1,000 before
punch.
the end of the year, but we're running out of time.
Yeah, we decided to go for the financial year, so then we
No,
can
we can
be.
do it. We've got 3 months to double our subscribers.
That's it. We've got to release a banger, more so than usual. But
We got some good content coming up
we do,
when
we
the
do.
guests don't tell us to delete them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We'll leave that one there. But yeah. So tell all your friends.
And
And on that note,
guess who made us delete them?
and the other thing is don't blame the owls.
Oh, yeah. I knew there was an ending I needed to remember.